Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another TheeSportsScoop video. I'm very used to saying podcast nowadays, but we're back with another video with our final weekly prediction video until we get to our playoff predictions. Crazy second year doing it. Obviously, so much support. So before we get into it, I want to thank everyone who's watched videos. I don't know, we've probably gotten over 10,000 views on this series. So really do want to thank you guys a bunch. But today we are here with our week 18 predictions, our final predictions, and we are joined by the whole crew. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not sure the last time we had all four of us on a weekly predictions. I think it's been probably a while, but as always, week 18 NFL predictions. As always, we'll get into the records now as it stands. So me and Dylan out of the race, although I'm very close. I could catch Dylan next week if I have a good week. And then Suraj is in first, and Suraj took a huge lead, which will probably see him take the crown, but really there's no prize, so it doesn't matter at all. But maybe we'll do one next year. Maybe you comment any prize you want us to do, or I don't know, maybe someone in last will give the other person money. But I got in last, or I mean, I guess we don't know yet, but I'm assuming it'll probably stay the exact same. That's just my wild prediction. But yeah, I mean, we're into the last week. As always, we forgot to put this on, but if we haven't said this in a while, if you guys want to predict, we know we have a couple people who come back every video. Predict any three games you want to predict along with us. Send us your records. We love seeing that in the comments, seeing how we match up against other people who do predictions. So you can send all the games, you can send a couple games, send scores. Just let us know what you think about some of the games. Obviously, as you know, now playoffs are starting. Obviously, we saw a ton of teams eliminated today, a ton of teams clinch playoffs today. So it was definitely a very big week. But the schedule is very weird this week. As Suraj, or Dylan told me, excuse me, last week when me and Dylan did predictions, it gets very weird after Christmas. It's just there's no Thursday night sometimes, or Saturday night, I believe, this week. It's very, very crazy. So I do apologize. I don't know. Is
1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games? No Sunday night. No. What's it called?
There's no Thursday
Monday
night.
No Thursday night. No Saturday
Yeah.
night.
So no, but there is Saturday, I believe, right?
Nah.
There isn't.
No, it's literally just Sunday, I think, this week.
Sunday, and they might flex a game out to Sunday night depending on how.
No, they flex out a game, whatever the best game is, to Sunday night. The rest are either 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock.
Yeah, okay. I don't know why I saw Saturday night, but never mind. As you guys see on the screen, we have a big divisional matchup for both teams. The New England Patriots going up against Miami Dolphins. Obviously, the Dolphins currently in that wild card spot still.
No, we were eliminated today.
Really? Why did
eliminated? Really?
No, you weren't.
Yeah, we were. I know we've been eliminated.
Oh, all right. I believe you. It's said on the graphic that ESPN shows, or Red Zone shows, that you guys had the wild card spot. Who took that wild card spot?
I think
LA
the Raiders.
And Vegas are ahead of us.
Oh, excuse me. You're right. Yeah, LA. Yeah. Oh, you did get eliminated. Now in the hunt, it's Raiders, Vegas, and the Steelers, right? Or no, excuse me, not the Steelers.
Steelers are still in. Yep.
Yeah. And
Raiders, Steelers, Chargers is the.
No, Chargers now have that wild card spot with the win.
Also, we are
right, but they're still fighting for it.
Also, we are doing all of these like predictions, like we're doing all AFC and then all NFC, just so we have like also our standings.
Yeah.
In order.
Again, this game, I would say, obviously, now that the Dolphins, don't have anything to play for, I assume they'll still play that starting team. Obviously, the Patriots now want to get first in the division. Now they're tied with the Bills, but the Bills sit on in first. I'm going to go for the Patriots in this one. I don't see, again, some games, not that much analysis go into them. I just think, the Patriots have more to play for, and the Patriots are a far better team than the Miami Dolphins. So I think the Patriots will come out with the win here. And obviously the Patriots slaughter Jacksonville. So I think that the Patriots will go out and win.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Patriots as well, because I think usually actually, though, we see New England kind of drop these games in Miami in the warm weather, which could lead me to maybe predict an upset. Mac Jones, I think, is a Florida native, so he's kind of is experienced with this late weather, like late season warm weather. And I think New England are just such a far superior team. Miami, sorry, Dylan. So I've got to go with the Patriots here.
And Tua is awful again.
We're gonna get.
Oh
to
God,
that.
we're gonna get like 100 comments in this video because you said that.
Yeah,
I think we all anticipated the Patriots slaughter of the Jaguars, or at least I did. The Patriots defense against rookie quarterbacks is just. It's another monster. We've seen it happen so many times, and it happened once again. Trevor Lawrence did not have a very good game. On the bright side, he threw his first touchdown pass in a long time. That's just two in his last 9 weeks.
I believe.
2 in his last 9 weeks. That's all I know. I don't know which exact week that was, but I'm gonna also go for the Patriots in this one. They're still fighting for that top spot in the division. If the Bills drop against the Jets, they have it. So I'm going to pick the Patriots.
Yeah. Just before I touch on my prediction, I just want to quickly say that I got very excited today. Looking forward to the game against the Titans the entire day. Popped myself a bowl of popcorn, coming to my room, watching my laptop, and I think
Oh God.
it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
I anticipated Tennessee winning, not like that.
I think that was the worst performance I've seen from my favorite team in any sport. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm a New York Red Bulls fan for anyone who cares about the MLS. But I don't think I've ever seen in a performance that's that deflating. And then again, everyone's saying we need to clear house. We do not need to clear house. We're a solid team with a good foundation. We have the future. That has nothing to do with this game. Just wanted to get that out there. I think New England's going to win. I think New England have something to play for. Miami don't. Miami might get some guys that didn't get a lot of minutes this season onto the field. Doesn't seem like the type of guy that Coach Flores is, but knowing the way that our organization works, when we're eliminated, I just said worked with a V, which is really strange. I didn't even mean to. But no, we'll get some guys out there that usually aren't there. New England have something to play for.
Like Tua. All right.
We're not going to get to that
Let's
right now.
move on to the next game where we have the Jets and the Bills. And this was a very, very emotional roller coaster, this game for me. First, Antonio Brown literally decided to quit football.
Oh my God. That was
again, we're going to get to the
that
Bucks.
made me laugh.
Let's try not to talk about other teams again. But the Jets, I mean, Suraj, I think a great point. The Jets look better.
I want to talk about that in a sec.
I think Zach Wilson, again, I think that the key to me, and I think something we've all noticed, is that what he needed to do to take that step is be a smarter quarterback, not go for those big plays and, those check downs. I think obviously we talked about Braxton Berrios was fantastic. And I think I think Zach Wilson going to next year, I think Jets fan can be pretty confident. I think, this guy has shown improvement, which is definitely a big thing. The Bills will win this game. The Bills still have something to play for. They still need to win this game. Unless, if they lose and then the Patriots lose, they still will get that top spot, but they're assuming that the Patriots are going to go beat Miami. And I think the Bills have the more favorable matchup. But I still think the Jets will be going out there and fighting. And the Jets put up a very good fight against a Buccaneers team today, which I think was not stolen from them. But I think a game, if the Jets didn't have their secondary full of JV players, then, maybe they would have won that game. But I'm going to go for the Bills here.
I think, honestly, I have to agree with you. I think Zach Wilson has shown so much improvement. I think he's gone now 136 straight pass attempts without an interception. He's really doing a great job of taking the ball. He's kind of working within the Jets, the offensive system. Michael Fleur has really improved as an offensive coordinator. In this game, I was so impressed. We were missing so many key weapons on offense. I won't go into that because it's such a long list and we don't have all day. But I think we've really improved as a team. Zach Wilson's really improved. I think we should have beaten the Bucs. But I think, obviously, that's football. Not everything goes your way, but going against the Bills obviously have something really to play for. And I think they should be able to beat the New York Jets, especially considering they are at home and have a division title on the line. And I think the Bills will win and clinch the AFC East.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves on this one. I don't really think this is going to be a close game. The Jets have nothing to play for. If a draft pick is all they're playing for, then so be it. The Jets should want the draft pick right now. Zach Wilson, I agree, has shown improvement, but the Bills are just too good of a team to be held right now by the Jets. I know we probably thought that going into the Bucs game, and the Bucs did get a little bit lucky, but it's, in my opinion, no offense to the Jets, but it's a fluke performance. They're not going to do it again against another really good team. It's just, you get those weeks where you play really well, and then the next week we'll see. Don't forget the Bills scored 45 points against the Jets in Week 10. The Jets aren't going to be able to stop the Bills' offense right now. It's just the Bills look too good, and I'm going to take the Bills in this one.
I am as well going to make it a clean sweep for the second time running now. Buffalo's just a much better team than the Jets are, Suraj. It's just the truth of the matter.
Why do we apologize? I mean, it's obvious. Like, you don't need to
Well,
apologize.
you apologize to me for an obvious comparison as well.
Yeah.
But they've got everything going towards them. They've got the ability to win themselves a home playoff game, and I think they're going to be able to take it, especially getting most of their guys that were out from COVID back next week, and really looking forward to their playoff run because I think they could really make a splash in this really strange AFC.
All right, well, let's move on to the next game where we have the recently eliminated Browns and the high-firing Bengals. Jamar Chase looks like a video game wide receiver, 266 yards, 3 touchdowns. Go check out my film analysis on him if you haven't already. I mean, ridiculous numbers. Jamar Chase looked fantastic. And again, this Bills team, which am I completely the Bills or not the why am I talking about the Bills? The Browns. Obviously, it's the problems all around for this organization. I think, very contradictory. We thought this Browns team would be contending for a Super Bowl this year, and just the complete opposite. And I think a lot of people have started to open their eyes towards is Baker that guy, which we'll see going into this offseason. And again, this is a game where I see the Bengals winning. Obviously, they clinch the division, but they can still potentially win the entire conference. So they'll obviously still be. There's something in it for them. And I mean, if the Bengals get that bye week, I would be very, very surprised. That would be very impressive. And I think they found a fantastic quarterback in Joe Burrow. Because this team, this wide receiver core, is nothing without Burrow. He was fantastic today. But I'm gonna go for the Bengals here again. These predictions are very easy. There's a team that has something in. There's a team that doesn't. I think the Bengals will go out and win.
I think the Browns actually may have a chance to make the playoffs if they do beat the Steelers on Monday night.
No, they don't. They're
eliminated. They are eliminated as well?
Yeah.
Well, I think no matter what, the Bengals will win. They have looked so good recently. Joe Burrow, maybe even making a late season long shot MVP case. He's been playing unbelievable. Obviously,
he's not going to win it, but yeah.
I don't know if it's this might be a hot take. I don't know if it is. I think the Bengals have the best receiving core, the best supporting cast in the league. Boyd, Higgins, Chase, and Mixon, they are all elite weapons with CJ Uzomah as an underrated tight end. They've got so many weapons. Burrow is playing amazing. The defense can play well when they need to, as we saw in the second half against the Chiefs. Going into a Bengals team that are just waiting for the season to be over. I think Cincinnati win this, kind of get a higher seeding in the AFC. And yep.
Yeah, no, I am also going to pick Cincinnati on this one. I'm going to go ahead and call a small game for Jamar Chase. I know he had a really big game against the Chiefs when they needed him to most, 266 yards and 3 touchdowns. But he's only had 5 weeks of 100+ receiving yards this season, and they've come, pretty spread out. That was week 1, week 5, week 7, and then the last 2 weeks. So it's just in between, he's just not had very weeks in between those numbers. He had, I believe, 7-week stretch of not going for over 77 receiving yards. And I just think right now he's too inconsistent, but we should see this Jamar Chase from this week and last more of the time next year. And I'm still going to pick the Bengals in this one. I think Mixon will dominate this game. I think it'll be back to Mixon this week, more of a run-based game against this Browns team. They won't be able to keep up offensively either, so I'm going to go for the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going to tie into this season's theme of the NFL. And naturally, after the Bengals just went and beat one of the best teams in the NFL, potentially the best one, I'm going to predict them to lose because I don't know what happens in this league. None of them really have anything major to play for. Cincinnati need a couple of things to go their way in order to get that number 1 spot. Otherwise, they do get a home playoff game. But I just don't know. I've been sleeping on Cincinnati all year, but I don't think that's why I'm picking against them. I think I'm picking against them just because it's a strange game. It's a divisional game that doesn't really mean much to any of them. You guys all picked Cincinnati, and I'm behind in predictions. And it is quietly a good matchup for the Cleveland running game because Cincinnati hasn't been able to stop goal line touches. Darrell Williams had 2 touchdowns today. And I think we could see Nick Chubb making the same type of difference, if not more, come this game. So I'm going to go Cleveland.
And there we go. Nothing like asinine Shalom takes. All right, let's move on now.
I'm ahead of you.
To the next. Let's move on now to the next game where we have another divisional matchup.
I'm going to pick the Jaguars.
In the Colts.
Hey, it's the NFL. They could win.
Yeah, that's a very good point. The Colts and the Jaguars. Yeah, man. The Jaguars. A not a good football team to put it lightly. Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. I feel like not a lot of people have been talking about how very bad he's been. But
unbelievably bad.
Yeah, I can't.
But he's still a stellar talent.
Yeah, and I feel like the surrounding cast he has, you need to give him another year where it's a little bit better, especially defensively, coaching wise. The Colts, who lost very, very heartbreakingly to the Raiders today, but nothing like really a Raiders. The Raiders definitely defying odds. We generally see the Raiders drop off second half of the season, but they, haven't been great, but they're still in playoff contention. And the Colts, the Titans clinch the division with the win and the Colts loss. Nevertheless, I think the Colts win this game. I'm not sure what has to happen for them to make the playoffs. I don't think they're in a wild card spot. I believe they're still in the hunt.
No, they are. No,
Are
they
they-
are
Winning in.
the six. They're
winning in, right? So I think that they'll win and they'll win. I think it's quite simple. They are winning in this game against a very poor Jacksonville team.
I have to go with Indianapolis here. I think not much to say really. I think they should be able to beat a team that I feel like again is openly tanking. I can't see Lawrence again. He's going against another solid defense in Indianapolis with again little to work with really here. I think Jonathan Taylor could easily go for 200 rushing yards. I mean, not easily, but if there's any team you'd go do it against, it'd be Jacksonville. And yeah, I think this will be a game where Indianapolis are just cruise to victory the whole game.
Yeah, for sure. I don't if I had to bet on one game this week, this might be it. And that's because of one big reason. Trevor Lawrence has 17 interceptions this season, and the Colts have forced 31 takeaways this season. That's, I believe, second most in the NFL. And I don't see the Jaguars doing much. And who did Derrick Henry have his monumental few games against the Jaguars? Who could we see Jonathan Taylor have a monumental game against? Well, probably this Jaguars team. So I'm going to go for the Colts on this one.
I'm going to go for the Colts as well. The Jaguars are tanking. It's very clear and obvious. Trevor Lawrence hasn't been able to get his throwing and his just his abilities in general to work out for him. I agree. Give him a couple more years, 1, 2, 3 potentially, but he's just not going to be able to help his team win this game. The Colts are very clearly the better team defensively and offensively. I don't really think I need to touch much more else.
Yeah, clean sweep again. Now we go into another game. Now these are both teams that are still in playoff contention, although I very highly doubt the Steelers will. When do the Steelers play? Do they play tomorrow?
Monday
They play
night.
tomorrow night.
Play
If
tomorrow
they
night.
win,
So if they
much more
lose tomorrow
likely.
night,
It'll be the
yeah.
Potatoes' last home game.
Yeah,
This
it'll
will be
be
the potatoes'
it'll
last
definitely
game.
be a if
Potato
they
tree.
lose tomorrow, then they are out. So I think who are they playing tomorrow?
Cleveland.
The Browns.
The Browns. Okay, so I don't know who I picked. I think that's definitely a game they could win. So this will, assuming they do, then both these teams will be still in the playoff hunt. The Ravens have not looked good. Obviously, I think like we talked about, give Tyler Huntley credit. He's really kept up with some very good teams, losing to the Packers by 1, then losing to the Rams in a fantastic kind of game-ending drive. But nevertheless, I'm not sure if Lamar will be back. I think I don't know. I have no idea. I think that he could be
if
back.
they're eliminated by that point, then I don't know if it's even going to matter.
Well, how would they be eliminated by that point?
If Pittsburgh beat Cleveland, they'll be out.
Okay. So, yeah. So, I don't know. Hopefully that pans out, because on our first podcast we talked about how we think the Ravens could be eliminated. So that would age very well. Now it's very tough because a lot of things need to happen. So this game could go either way. I'm going to go for the Ravens. But I think again, if the Steelers win, then the Ravens have nothing to play for. But I'm still going to go for the Ravens. This is a tough one because, I would probably bet on the Steelers to beat the Browns, but you never know.
I'm gonna go with the Ravens here, just because of the fact that I think they actually have been able to still be competent on offense, because Tyler Huntley's played very well, and Mark Andrews and Marquise Brown, Rashad Bateman have been solid weapons, and I think their defense, after a horrid showing against Joe Burrow and the Bengals, they kind of stepped up against Stafford. They forced 2 picks and forced a fumble. I think going against a much worse offense in Pittsburgh should bode well for them, and I think they may still have a chance of making the playoffs. We don't know. But I think Baltimore going to this game, they probably want to end Big Ben's career on a bad note. And I just think right now they're a slightly better team, and they'll end the winning streak and the losing streak to end the season.
The Ravens. Oh, yeah, you're
Steelers did come out victorious last time I met, just a few weeks ago, by 1 point. And I believe in our first podcast, I did say that my money was on the Steelers to get the number 7 spot in the AFC. And I think that means I have to pick the Steelers in this one. I don't know if Lamar Jackson will be back, but even if he's not, Tyler Huntley, as you said, has done well. He's played some close games with some good teams, and I could definitely see the Ravens taking this one, but I'm going to go for the Steelers. With the Ravens secondary in shambles right now, I would put more money on the Steelers receivers because they have so many. Deontay Johnson headlines that with Chase Claypool and, of course, Juju Smith-Schuster. I would bet on the Steelers for this one.
It's hard for me to ever bet on the Steelers because they have a potato as their quarterback. And especially when the Ravens made Matt Stafford panic as much as he did this season, today, on the safety blitzes that they ran a lot. Ben Roethlisberger, as seasoned as he is, he seems like he's gone back 8 years in maturity this season. He's not really in it anymore. I'm giving
He's
this
been back
one
8 years. He's still pretty
right
old.
to Baltimore.
All right, another clean sweep. Or no, Charlie,
Nope.
excuse me, Charlie, the Steelers. Again, now all divisional games here. We have the Chiefs and the Broncos. Very simple. The Broncos have nothing to play for. They were eliminated with the loss at SoFi today, and the Chiefs, obviously, not a devastating loss. I think one they would have liked to win, but nevertheless was a fantastic game. Mahomes looked great, and I think the Chiefs will go and win this game. And I believe if they win, it's win and they get that first seed, but I might be wrong.
No, I think
Titans have it
They
right
would need
now.
Tennessee to lose. Tennessee is going to win and make
Yeah,
it.
That's
they're playing.
great. How the hell did that happen?
I think
Wow.
a few
Tennessee
weeks ago, it was
without
just like a
Derrick
few
Henry.
weeks ago
Yeah.
where we said where they could possibly miss the playoffs. Now
Yeah.
we're
I
saying
put it
one
on
seed.
TikTok saying I thought they would.
Yeah.
Wow.
Never mind. Well,
Nasty,
nevertheless,
nasty.
that doesn't affect this. Chiefs will win this one quite comfortably. I bought
Not really much to say here. The Broncos offense is just inept. They're not very
Yeah.
good. The Chiefs offense is very good, and they should win easily, even on the road.
Yeah, despite losing to the Bengals this week, the Chiefs offense looked like the Chiefs offense, maybe one drive short, but Travis Kelce's back, and the Chiefs wouldn't even need him to beat this Broncos team, but they've got him, so it won't be close.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, again, make it a clean sweep here. A lot of pretty easy games to predict in this window.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are just a superior team, especially to the Drew Lock-led Denver Broncos. I think it's safe to say that his chapter in the Denver Broncos franchise is definitely over after these last couple of performances. He has shown the complete ineptitude to run a franchise, run a team. Kansas
To run
City,
a
on the other
play.
hand, what?
to run a play.
Run a play, yeah. But Kansas City, on the other hand, are looking up. I know they lost today. One can say that it was a poor refereeing call that led to that loss, but
And if only Byron Pringle.
give credit where credit is due. The Bengals earned it. Kansas
Bengals
City
earned
will
it.
win this one, though.
Fair enough. Clean sweep. Next game. Titans.
Probably
Thank you so
another one.
much. Yep, Titans.
Yeah, I gotta go Titans. Although Houston did win last
I was
time,
about
and
to
I think
say.
Davis Mills is a solid.
Yeah,
A
now that
rookie
I think about it,
quarterback.
actually, I think
It's
this could
good.
definitely, because I
This
think the
is like,
Texans will go out. Yeah.
Although, is it possible Derrick Henry returns for this game?
I don't
Yes,
think
but
they
I do not think they'll be rushing him back for this game.
They're not going to put him
Well,
back
the
in the
one
game, but I
seed-
think
the-
he's eligible to return.
The 1 seed is at stake here, so it is an important game. But then again, they might just use Derrick Henry, like Deontay Foreman, to kind
Yeah,
of win
Suraj
this
is-
game.
Murdered us.
I know he
Surge's
is
favorite saying.
favorite phrase, but I think Tennessee.
What's it like
they've
having the
got a
Titans
sur-
backup be better than the Dolphins running back?
Ooh.
I was never going to say otherwise. Our running backs are horrible.
I think the Titans should be able to win, given that they do have, I think, a very good defense and good enough on offense, especially with AJ Brown's return. So yeah, give me Tennessee locking up the 1 seed, which is huge.
Yeah, I think the Titans, it'll be massive because because Henry is eligible for return this week, I don't think they'll rush him back, because if they do win this, he's got an extra week to recover. So
That's
not only
huge.
would he not be playing this week, he'd also not be playing in the first round of the playoffs, and then he'd come back fresh to take on the worst team that advances out of the wild card round. So I think they would be smart not to play him, maybe give him a couple touches, but I would not risk it. And I'm going to bet on the Titans for this one regardless, because the Texans, to be frank, are just not a very good team.
Be very careful in what you're saying there, Charlie.
No.
I think that
No.
Tennessee's going to win this game. I think Tennessee is a better team than Houston. But Houston are by no means one of the basement teams in this league anymore. We've seen teams that are
No,
much
they're
They're
worse.
a
bad.
basement team, but they're not a very good team.
All right, fair enough.
They are bad.
I don't
just
think
because
They
so.
they're
are
not
a
bottom,
basement team.
Just,
What do you
just
like?
because they're not
They
like
are. I don't
bottom
think
three
they're- I don't
doesn't
think
mean
they're
they're
bad.
not bad.
I don't
I
think
mean-
they're bad.
Their
They are
record
bad. What do
suggests
you
they're
mean?
4-12.
Listen. I think they're tanking. I think they're losing on purpose. I don't think that their players are bad. I think their defense needs work, and I think in free agency they'll do that. But I think their offense is actually a functional offense that can win 7-8 games in the NFL next season. That
I
being
don't know
said,
I
that
could
has
name
nothing to
5
do
good
with
players on the Texans.
Huh?
Like, I don't know that I can name 5 good players on the Texans.
Brandon Cooks, Laramie Tunzel.
Davis
My
Mills.
point.
Does Mills
Davis
count?
Mills
This
not a
is
good
not an
player on
argument. The
the
Texans are not a good team. Are they in the
Texans.
playoffs? No. There we go.
That doesn't constitute as
Okay,
to,
it doesn't
I'm not
matter. I
saying
mean,
the
the
Texans are
Tennessee
a
should.
good
It
team.
literally
I'm
doesn't
saying
mean the
they're not
Titans
a-
are winning the game. Thank you so much. Let's move
Titans
on.
are winning the game.
All right,
Let's
next
just-
game we have the Chargers
Ooh.
and the Raiders.
Winner
Again,
gets in.
this is a winner gets in. You're right, Surge. Both teams battling for that wild card. I think the Raiders win this game. I think
I-
it's very tough. Herbert, to me, started off very well and kind of has slowed down a little bit. But I think this Raiders team has been fantastic. Hunter Renfrow is really, really good. Hunter Renfrow is a great receiver. He played fantastic today. 2 very, very clutch. Wait, did they count that touchdown? No, I think his knee was down, right? They didn't count it. Yeah, I didn't get. So again, still a massive chunk play that helped them win that and get that field goal. Derek Carr, as much as he's not been, obviously he's not one of the better, or he's not maybe a top 10, top 5 guy. His ball placement today was second to none. You look at the throws he was slinging around today, fantastic. And again, I think it's a defense that stepped up. Like I've said, I think they found a very, very, 2 good corners in Nate Hobbs, who they drafted, and Casey Hayward, who they got actually from the Chargers. So, I think that the Raiders go and win this one. I don't know, have that feeling. I think Derek Carr is going to be, finally, make that playoff push.
Yeah, this is basically an extension of a playoff game because I think winner gets in, loser's probably eliminated. I think, and I'm actually tempted to go with the Raiders as well because honestly, this is in the Chargers' nature to lose this game.
Yeah,
and I think
it's also in the Raiders' nature,
and it's in the Raiders' nature too. But I think especially
Raiders,
the Chargers'
playoffs,
nature.
I don't know about
followed this franchise for a while.
I mean, Chargers playoffs.
It's a really tough game, and I think Justin Herbert, he isn't like
Chargers weren't in the playoffs last year.
He's a great quarterback, don't get me wrong, but it's unlike his peers like Joe Burrow. I don't know if he actually steps up and gets better in these big games. I think he very well could, but I'm really tempted to pick the Raiders. But I think the Chargers just have such a superior team that I think I have to go with LA. But I feel like this is honestly a toss-up. I wouldn't be surprised if they flex this to the Sunday night game, given how important this is.
It's going to be what it is.
It's going to be a big game. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this will be a massive game. And what I think will be the deciding factor is the fact that Herbert has potentially if I'm being honest, potentially the best arm in the league. We've seen amazing arm. No, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding.
I mean,
I'm listening, but I'm
we have seen amazing arm talents like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, but Justin Herbert has, maybe not the best, but one of the best.
Maybe one of the best, not the best.
And I mean top 3. Justin Herbert's arm is incredible.
Top 3,
and I think
top
that
3
will be
unarguable. He's definitely top 3.
I think Mahomes,
Justin
Rodgers,
Herbert has proved
Allen.
Rodgers 37. I don't trust his. Okay, anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
What does that mean?
Justin Herbert has proved week in, week out that he has an incredible arm, and I think the Chargers will go out and win this game because the Raiders don't let this week's game fool you. They held the one-dimensional Colts. The Chargers are anything but one-dimensional. They have a lot more threats than the Colts, who have just one. And I'm going to take the Chargers in this one. They will put up a lot of points.
I don't know. I may have come off earlier in the season and even going into later this season as someone who does not respect Justin Herbert. And I kind of feel badly about that because he's a very good quarterback who deserves my respect. But I'm going to go off on a tangent here. When was the first time and the last time that he's actually won a meaningful game?
Yeah,
seriously.
I know.
That is my concern reason also why
I don't think he has it in him.
Wow.
And I might completely get flamed for this. I might be completely wrong. I've said completely too many times. I'm going to stop. I'm going to go with Las Vegas because I think that they're more drilled as an organization. And I know that sounds crazy. They have an interim head coach.
That's why I think they'll win. I mean, they have so many chips on their shoulders. Henry
Ruggs,
coach.
They're hungry. And again, this is a franchise in Las Vegas, which is super weird. It's like fighting off everything you want to think instinctively about the NFL. I'm going to go with Vegas. I just have the feeling, and I don't think LA is going to be capable of going into a pretty much a playoff game and getting a result. Sorry, Chargers fans. Sorry, Herbert stands. Not happening.
Yeah. But I think quickly before we move on, I think Justin Herbert has a great arm. They're also 9-7. So, balance out. I mean, if you put Trey Lance in that situation, you can say Trey Lance has just the same ability with that arm talent that Justin Herbert.
Herbert's a better quarterback than Lance, but I think a lot of people
I know that, but I'm saying you look at there's a difference between arm talent and being able to create success from arm talent, which Aaron Rodgers can do and Josh Allen. All right, Sarah, we'll move on to the next game where we have another divisional matchup. Again, let's go quickly. I mean, we don't need too much analysis. The Bucs clinch. I mean, this technically could be maybe the Panthers win. I'm going to go the Bucs. I don't think this is a trash game. I don't think this really matters for our predictions. There's no analysis needed. I think it's the Bucs.
I'm not going to say much. Just Bucs should win easily.
Yeah, Bucs were wrong-footed by the Jets earlier today, but they'll get back on the right track. They were able to squeak out a win. I'm not really sure what the Jets were doing with that 4th down call. I would have just.
It was a miscommunication. It was meant to be an end around. Sorry,
Now,
I have to
I
say.
know we want
But
to get
regardless,
this
I don't think they should have gone for it.
All right, we're
That's
never
wrong.
mind.
Okay,
We
it
have the
doesn't
Bucks still. We
matter.
have the Bucks.
But
But
I know
regardless,
we
the
want
Bucks.
to get this done quickly, and I'll let you guys do that. I'm going to go with the Bucks.
All right.
Thank
Let's
you.
move on to the next game where we have the Eagles and Cowboys. Eagles still in the hunt. I know, obviously, big win against Washington.
Eagles are still in a wild card spot.
Yeah, I'm not sure how this. Again, I'm not sure how this would work if they did lose, but the Cowboys lost to the Cardinals. So the Cowboys, if they had won, would keep that 2 seed. I'm not sure what they are at right now. But the Eagles, again, still have that wild card spot. This is a really tough game. I think the Eagles win. I'm going to go for the Cowboys. I still think there's implications for this team, but they did clinch their division. Again, I'm just not sure how if they win, how it would bump them up in the conference. But I'm going to go.
Currently, the Cowboys are sitting 4th.
Yeah. And I think with a win and a no, I don't. I'm not
They
sure.
would need Cardinals or the Rams or Bucks
Yeah.
or Packers to lose a game to potentially move up. I don't really know how the
Yeah.
tiebreaker
So
is
I'm going to
right
go for
now,
the Cowboys either way because I still think there's something for them to play, or there's something in it for them.
I think they can just higher seeding, but they're a better team than the Eagles. I think the Eagles should make the playoffs, but I think the Cowboys are a much better team, so they'll win this game.
I'm as well going to end up going with the Cowboys here. Unfortunately for Philadelphia, or unfortunately for NFL fans, very fortunately for Philadelphia, I don't think it's going to matter because the NFC is completely crooked at the moment. So they're going to make it regardless of how much they lose by, how much happens, as long as Sean Mannion can't pull up a 13-point upset on Green Bay going into the second half of the game. But I'm going to go with Dallas. Pretty much all I have to say there.
Yeah, I'll also take Dallas on this one.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. We have the Saints and the Falcons. The Saints still very much in it with the win against the Panthers, and the Falcons, I believe, the Falcons have been eliminated after that loss to the Bills. Dylan, I told you, that's all I'm going to say. I think this, again, Saints have something in it for them. I think the Saints going to win. Yeah, what were you going to say, Dylan?
I'm going to go with
Don't
the Falcons here.
I said I picked the Bills to win the game. So.
Yeah, but you said the Falcons would make the playoffs, and I was like, nah.
Yeah, I said that
Falcons,
could, but they didn't. So
yeah, I think the Falcons will win just because the Saints don't have a quarterback, and the Saints just have kind of just been stumbling to end the season. And I think Atlanta have a few weapons that can kind of just challenge that Saints secondary. They're able to win. Last time,
I'm going to be with Cian on this one. I think the Saints are going to win just because they have something to play for. The Falcons right now, probably anything they can do to bump up their draft stock, even if it is only by a couple picks. But the Saints still have a playoff spot to push for, and the Saints will take this one. The main weapon for the Falcons is Kyle Pitts, and he has just 1 touchdown this season. So they're not a great offense. I'm going to take the Saints.
Yeah, none of these teams are particularly good. Just generally, the Saints have a solid defense, but they haven't been able to really bring up their offense. And I think the Falcons just have that one piece that the Saints are not really capable of defending, and that's Cordero Patterson. So I do declare that the Atlanta Falcons will win this game.
Okay.
Yo, don't say that again, bro.
Yeah, I will not.
All right. Let's move on. What was that from, Dylan?
I don't know.
Oh, it's from The Office.
Oh, it
All right.
was.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on.
Oh God.
To the next game where both teams have been eliminated. The Giants are the worst team in the NFL. Mike Glennon is actually the worst football player I've ever seen. I'm telling you right now, I could probably have a better stat line than Mike Glennon. I'd be very scared. I would run around. I don't want to get tackled by like 400-pound men, but I can promise you I'd be. I mean, some of his throws, it's like, what are you like? Is that bald head that empty? Like, seriously, is it that empty? He is just so bereft of talent and IQ.
Nice vote,
and he's just so terrible. Like, he's a awful quarterback. Mike Glenn, I hope you see this. And everybody jokes about him. Oh, Mike Glenn's the GOAT. He's so ridiculously terrible. It's not funny. How many points did we score today? I don't even know if we got double digits. We suck. And it's his fault.
3 points.
He should be cut. He's so ridiculously terrible. But yeah, I'm gonna go for Washington here. I mean, neither team. No, you know what? I'm gonna go for the Giants. You know what, Mike Glennon? Maybe your nothing brain dead head will do something.
Oh, it's abuse. I think what Cian tried to say is that we should all go for Washington. So I'm gonna start Washington.
Yeah, I hope for the Giants' sake that Washington win this game.
Actually, yeah, never mind. I'm taking Washington
to win.
Yeah, me neither.
Glennon's not very good. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know why Fromm's not playing more. I know
Yeah.
he didn't play great when he got the start last week, and Glennon did end up coming in. I don't know why. They've got some sort of reason. The first time it was because Fromm only knew about 60% of the playbook. But I don't know why at this point he's not playing. So you're right. Cian Glennon should be cut, and he should not be seen on an NFL roster.
He's
for
the type of
rest
kid
his
where you know
career.
that he's the type of guy you could hit his head with like a drumstick and it would like make that ding sound because it's just
And then
there's
it would
nothing in
bang.
his head.
Around his head.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for Washington on this
Yeah.
one.
I'm
And then you're
also
like,
gonna go
oh
for
yeah,
Washington
and
here.
what about who's our starting quarterback? And then you're like, oh, it's Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, I'm gonna go for Washington. Let's move.
Thank you
in.
so much,
Last
Dylan.
4 games.
All right.
3-2-1. 3-2-1.
yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
we've
geez,
lost the
two-
last 2 times we've done that, but I'll go.
Doesn't
Whatever.
matter.
Yeah,
If
we
we do
know
the
this.
3-2-1, I'll pick the Lions
two,
because we always lose these.
Okay, no.
Packers.
Just
I mean, the Lions,
Packers.
as bad as
No,
their
no, no,
defense
no.
is, I
No,
mean,
no.
their quarterback was Boyle, so
Okay, but
No.
the Packers are a different team than the Lions have faced this season.
Yeah.
I mean,
Packers.
Packers. We all agree.
Packers.
Packers.
All
All right.
agree. Move on.
Let's move on to the next one where we have again, I think it's still a game that the Cardinals have something to play for. They clinch playoffs, but I think seeding wise, they may
I think if they win, and the
seeding-wise,
Rams lose, then they
lose,
can
they
win the
can
division.
clinch a division. Again, this is not a very close one to me. I think the Cardinals will win it. Seahawks don't have much play, although they did absolutely slaughter the Lions today. It's not much to say. You know, there's not much pride in that. So I'm gonna go for the Cardinals.
Yep, the Cardinals front seven's going to maul Russell Wilson. Their offense will do enough to win at home. Give me the Cardinals.
I know
I
the
will-
Cardinals slaughtering of the Seahawks slaughtering of the Lions is not massive, but the Cardinals did beat the Cowboys. I did not see that one coming, so I'm gonna go for the Cardinals. It's a big morale booster because they were looking so weak recently.
Also,
It's
how many
just a
games
big-
they were on how many game losing streak?
I think
3.
3-game losing streak,
3-game
and
losing
it's
streak.
I
just
thought
big
they
to
needed
beat
that.
a team as good as the Cowboys this season. It just gives you morale going into the last week of the season. They can lock up a playoff spot, or a division top spot in this
Mhm.
one. I don't think they will. I think the Rams will probably win, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Cardinals in this one.
Give me the Cards.
Yep,
All right. I'm
I
not
did
sure.
that.
Have we seen who the Rams are playing? I bet it's going to come up right. Never mind. Okay. Another game. The Vikings, I believe. So they're playing right now. I think
Yep,
they're
right
still in
now,
playoff contention. I
Trail
believe.
19-0, so they are
Right.
not.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
I
who are
think
they
if they
playing?
lose, Packers.
The Packers.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. I think I'm not sure if Fields will be back, but I still think the Vikings will win. Again, this is probably the worst prediction video because it's very boring. But yeah, I'm gonna go for the Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings.
We don't have
easy.
too much time.
Yep,
Vikings.
Vikings.
All right.
Vikings.
Let's move on to the next one. Big game.
Sunday,
This might be one that's flexed out. I'm not sure.
Could be.
But the
If
49ers
Rams-
obviously coming off a big win, and the Rams as well coming off a win in Baltimore. Nevertheless, I think the Rams still have something to play because they do have something to play for that top spot. And this is a tough one. I'm going to go for the San Francisco 49ers.
which means the Cardinals will win the division.
Yeah, I think the Niners
Mm.
win.
I think Rams, though. I think the Rams just have so much talent on offense. They've really gotten the most out of their weapons, and I think they should be able to win against San Francisco.
Yeah, I think I'm going to pick the Rams because I think the Rams just deserve the division head more than the Cardinals do right now. And I think the
All right,
Rams will go
Dylan,
out
what
and
do you
win
got?
this game.
I'm going to go with the Rams. I think they've got everything that they need to win this game against the Niners. Niners haven't really just been as good as they were at the start of the year. I'm going Rams.
All right,
Okay.
everybody. The 2-minute drill is successful. We're going to run out of time.
Once
Thank you so
again.
much for watching. Follow us on social media at TheeSportsScoop. We hope you guys did enjoy the video. And last weekly predictions, playoff predictions coming soon. So make sure you guys subscribe, podcast clips, and everything. Key McDermott, Suraj, Carly, Dylan Chaum, and Charlie Nidell. Hope you enjoyed the last weekly predictions. We'll see you in the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen.